Welcome, everyone, to the Weird World Podcast. Today, by the way, I'm Dean.
I'm Erin.
I'm Carrie.
And?
I'm Rachel.
Yes, Rachel is back. They tell me her name is Rachel, but I'm a little disbelieving because we haven't seen her in many years. Mm-hmm. About 17 years she's been away from the home. 17, Carrie? She's a 45-year-old mother of two. No, we have Rachel back to actually lead this episode about a pretty interesting, very nuanced mystery. It's still unsolved mystery.
Yeah,
in
it's
fact,
still
was
unsolved to this day.
Was famously on the second season of Unsolved Mysteries, the reboot on Netflix. And we are going to learn much more than what was just on that episode, aren't we?
We are?
Yes, we are. So?
I thought I was going to be able to take a snooze during this one because I know it all.
So many things wrong with that statement. But okay, so go ahead.
But now I'm going to pay attention because I'll learn something new.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't sleep during our podcast. Great, Carrie. Thanks.
You're going to learn
Carrie,
today.
nice. Take it away, Rachel.
Okay. So, we are going to talk about the unsolved mystery of the death of Jack Wheeler.
Never heard of him.
Alrighty. Never? Okay.
She's lying.
Joking, I have because I saw the Unsolved Mysteries.
Our mystery starts at Cherry Island Landfill in Wilmington, Delaware, December 31st,
What year? 2010, I think?
2010.
December 31st. Oh, the last day of 2010. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Date on your timeline.
I've literally just wrote that down. I'm starting my timeline right now.
All right.
Oh, she knows all about your timelines, Dean.
Okay.
Yes. The body of a middle-aged man was found in Cherry Island Landfill on December 31st, 2010 at 5:56 in the morning.
Okay.
The man was wearing black pants, a white shirt, a black garment covering his torso area, as well as a West Point military class of 66 ring, and had no obvious injuries.
So the garment isn't specified, so it could be a corset.
I think we have to assume it was. No, I believe it's a hoodie, right? It's a sweater.
Yeah, it wasn't like obvious at the first sighting of the body. It's just a black garment was over his torso.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to choose to think of it as a corset until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Wait a second. He was
CA.
wearing it or it was draped over him?
Yeah. Was it snatched, cinched for the
No,
gods?
he was wearing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the body was identified to be 66-year-old former White House aide John P. Wheeler III, or as he was known and referred to mostly, Jack Wheeler.
So they identified his body very quickly.
The same day.
Was it the ring?
It was the ring.
It's probably a missing
And-
report, missing person maybe? Was he?
No.
Oh, really?
No, they called his wife, and she and his stepdaughter went to the police headquarters to identify the body.
Yeah, but how did they
that day.
identify the body to call his wife?
It was the ring and some other. He was very well known in the area too.
Oh, okay. So
And
some
so it was
landfill
very
operator goes, "Oh my
quickly-
God, I think that's Jack Wheeler because he's
they
in
called
Delaware, so he'd
cops
have."
to the area.
They'd say, I think that's Jack Wheeler.
I plumb reckon because in Delaware, you know, they speak just like this.
So he was
Of
born in
course.
1900.
Carrie, it did some very quick math right there.
Yeah.
And
That's just weird.
wait, you think he's born in 1900? So you think he's 110 years old when they found his body?
You want me to tell you his
Oh.
birthday?
Oh, I was thinking 1966.
No,
That's when he
I
graduated from the thingy.
I choose to believe that Carrie thought he was 110.
I need to keep a timeline. If I kept a timeline, I would have written down 2010 and not
Good
forgotten
point. I have it right here. So
Yeah,
Nice.
someone's keeping a timeline.
someone's obviously
All
not
right.
because someone thinks 110-year-olds run around landfills.
How embarrassing.
Okay, so quick little life background on Jack Wheeler. He graduated high school in 1962, voted most likely to succeed.
Goodness.
Graduated Hampton High School. And 66, he graduated the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. He was a distinguished graduate, so that was the class ring that he was wearing.
Okay.
It's probably
He
one of
got-
those big, giant, overly jeweled.
Yeah, it was very distinctive. It was like very obvious when they saw the body, they saw the ring.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't something that they could miss. In 1969, he graduated Harvard Business School with an MBA.
Did they really call it Harvard's business school?
Business.
I actually believe back then they did indeed call it Harvard Business School.
School.
I'm fairly sure they did. I mean, they changed it more recently, but back
You haven't seen me in 17 years, and this is how you treat me?
Well, I mean, if you're literally going to say business school, you could have mispronounced it any other way.
We're not going to just not comment on that.
No, not business school. I mean,
You need a minute there, Mom?
My chair is creaking when I laugh.
Yeah.
I'm a business school.
he was good at business. Go ahead.
After he graduated Harvard,
It's like the church giggles. I'm sorry.
he received orders to go to Vietnam.
Oh, no.
He was a Vietnam veteran. Vietnam.
Yikes.
You'll be glad to know he saw no combat.
Oh.
He had a relatively easy tour.
Whew, so he lived. That's
Yeah.
good.
He lived. He made it. But he did lose some friends over there.
Oh, I'll betcha.
Yeah, he had a lot
Yeah.
of fights with them and falling out for several people. Yeah.
And in 1975, he got his Juris Doctor from Yale Law School.
Ah. A Yaley, eh?
Yes. And he went on to hold several positions of power around federal, local government. He was a Pentagon staffer. He was a high-ranking official in Securities and Exchange Commission, special assistant to Secretary of the Air Force. He was a White House aide during both Reagan and Bush administration.
Bush 1?
Daddy Bush
Probably.
or Baby Bush?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, Daddy, I'm probably Daddy Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daddy Bush.
Daddy
Reagan.
Bush.
Since it was...
Yeah.
He was also, because of his time in Vietnam, he chaired the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. And he was pretty quintessential in the erection of the Vietnam Memorial. He was, pretty instrumental in making sure that they got the money to make that and that they built it the way that it is.
Let the record show that Aaron snickered at the word erection. Just,
14.
so he was a consummate Washington, D.C. insider, well-connected,
Yes.
had some pretty significant posts. He was someone in the news occasionally.
Yeah, he was, very helpful and very about giving back and helping people. He was also the CEO of the Vietnam Children's Fund, and he helped build 51 schools in Vietnam. He was also CEO of a hearing health foundation and CEO of Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
You saying CEO for those things?
Yeah, CEO.
Okay.
And he helped guide Macy's out of bankruptcy, apparently.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just a
goodness.
little tidbit over here.
Yes. I have
Kind of a
collected.
varied career.
He does,
there.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it's mostly, but it was security and finance,
Yes.
financial, and
Yeah, that's true.
mostly along those lines. But didn't he also have something to do with like cybersecurity? Or that's more.
That was the later half
Okay,
of
all
his
right, all
career. The later part of his career in 2005 to 2008. That's when he was the special assistant to the Secretary of the Air Force. And as of 2009, he was a special consultant in cybersecurity with the Meter Corporation. I'm not sure how to say that.
How does it sound spelled?
MITRE.
yeah, meter.
Yeah, I would guess
Or miter.
MITRE.
Oh wait,
MITRE.
MI. Oh yeah, you're right. It could be miter.
So,
But,
MITRE
yeah.
Corporation.
Let's do that.
At some point during the episode that I just watched again today, someone said like he thought outside of the box before there was a box. Like people just
That's
sang his
good.
praises, and
It makes even less sense than the phrase "think outside the box,"
Yeah.
which never made sense and
Yeah.
never will. But I like it. It still
Yes.
sounds good.
Got
Very
beef
buzzy.
with that phrase.
Very buzzy.
but
You know what he did? He saw paradigm shifts.
yes,
That's what he did. Let's get that.
and he did it all
Disruption.
while having bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
Good for him. I
he
mean,
was-
not good for him. They have bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
but-
He was on medication too, correct? Okay.
It was very well known. It wasn't something that he hid.
Well, that's good too because I could see somebody.
In that position,
Yeah.
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 Especially in a security position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the whole
And the
basis for
military and-
Homeland.
Yeah.
But it was very openly discussed in every article and the Unsolved Mysteries episode.
And it
you know.
was,
They would have
known.
sensationalized that being.
if he hit it.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Kept it secret.
John Parsons Wheeler III was born December 14th, 1944, not 1900,
Thank you for that.
in Laredo, Texas, to Janet and John Wheeler, who was an Army colonel known as Big Jack.
Big Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was married to Catherine Cleese, Klyse, for 13 years. It was both of their second marriages. So he had a pair of twins from his first marriage named John Parson Wheelers IV and Catherine Marie Wheeler. And then he basically adopted her daughters, Bird and Merriweather.
Bird
Yeah,
and Merriweather.
Byrd and Merriweather.
Amazing. Gonna steal that name.
That's a good name. It's a very strong name.
And
Bird.
you know,
With a
she
Y,
says
too.
he
Yeah.
treated them like his own kids. They called him dad. And
Well, how
there's-
old were they? I mean, they'd only been married
They
for
were,
13
I think they
years.
were young
they little?
teens when they got married.
Yeah,
I
they were
believe.
teens. They're
Oh,
grown
okay.
now.
Yeah, they weren't little kids now.
No. He also had a brother, Robert, who died before he did. And apparently he and his wife first bonded over their shared knowledge and being fans of ballet choreographer George Balanchine.
That old story. That's
Yes.
Huh.
His
There's a
wife
lot of-
says he was
yeah.
a soldier who loves ballet. I just thought how lucky I was.
Huh.
interesting.
But so Jack's death was very sudden, very shocking for everyone in his life, especially being found in a landfill.
Yeah.
You know, there was rampant speculation.
So the landfill led to immediate speculation that it's some kind of a hit.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's where mobsters put their victims.
Yeah, his
How do you
So
get to that
nice.
landfill?
Yeah.
Usually the body's a great place to dump a body.
immediately Fox News, you know, other media basically speculated that his death was a professional hit job.
Yeah.
And his family agreed too, because, you know, they all figured where he was found, he was never supposed to be found. That's where you dump bodies that, you know,
Are never seen again.
yeah, that are never seen again. They disappear. That's such a random place
So how
to find them in the
Yeah, how
middle
was
of
he-
how
all
was
that
he found?
garbage.
How did the was
Yeah,
it a
I think he was just-
landfill worker?
A landfill worker
Yeah.
happened upon him.
Just
when
spotted him. He's on-
dumping his truck in the landfill.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell was that? And
Called the cops, and
Yikes.
they, you know, took stock of the situation. They saw the ring.
So
And-
wait, they're just assuming that his body was dumped at the landfill versus
initially,
being
yeah.
dumped in a dumpster.
Yes.
Initially, I mean, which makes sense. The first thought is we found a body in
Yeah.
the landfill. It was dumped there purposely.
Yeah. His family basically said, "Oh, it's a miracle we even found the body." And you know,
And he had the background, like, again, cybersecurity. He was in
Yes.
private enterprise now by this point for a long time, but he had a background.
but he'd been in
with some secret
government,
stuff.
federal government, local government. He'd been, you know, doing it all, and he was very high profile,
Yeah.
especially because of his many foundations.
Russians.
All right.
Oh, North Koreans.
And this landfill was about 6 miles from where he lived.
In
And-
Delaware?
Yes.
This landfill was in Delaware, correct?
Yes,
And he lived
Wilmington,
in Delaware?
Delaware.
Okay.
Yes. He commuted all over the place, and he had multiple houses.
Okay, yeah.
So after finding his body and taking away, they searched the landfills for clues and found nothing. Like I said, he was identified the same day, and they called the police in Newcastle. 'Cause that's where his house
Delaware.
was.
Okay.
In Delaware. And that day, Newcastle police were already en route to his house for a possible burglary.
Oh.
That very same day. So he was found, I think you said 5:56 in the morning. So 9:56. So he's found in the
9:56
morning.
in the morning.
And there'd already been a burglary. So presumably the day before or the day
There'd
before?
been the report of a possible burglary at his house that day.
That morning.
That's how they made it seem. They didn't put a
okay.
date to it,
Huh.
but that's, you know, how they
So that
made it
must have
seem.
been, okay, we'll get back to that.
Uh-huh. And this is a house that he had because he inherited it from his late brother.
Oh.
But he regularly communicated between DC, New York, Wilmington. He, you know, was always kind of traveling and all over the place. So he had his place with his family. He had this house that he took care of, and then he had various, you know, work.
Where did his family
Joe
live?
Biden commuted from Wilmington to DC every day for years and years.
Yeah. Where does his family live? Do you know?
I think they were in New York.
They
at
they
this
were.
time, when
yeah.
his bodies found, they were in New York.
They were
he
in
was
New York.
alone in the house in Newcastle.
Yes, he was alone the entire time during this timeline preceding his death. They were celebrating the holidays in New York. Because it was right after Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. So his neighbor, Robert Dill, said he noticed a upstairs window left open, and he described Jack as a temporary neighbor. So he wasn't at that house all that often, but they was friendly enough. You know, they waved, said hi, and stuff like that. You know, he said, I never would have guessed that happy guy would end up in a landfill.
So the burglary reported that morning was reported by the neighbor, not by Jack.
No.
Okay. So I see a window open. I think if I remember correctly, he looked inside and saw damage and saw a sort of a disheveled kitchen and room.
Yeah.
And thought, okay, I think my friend Jack, he's away right now. His house has been burgled, and he called the police. Okay.
He noticed the window, went to check, saw the door ajar.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even
And
more sure.
it was the door to the kitchen
Okay.
in the back of the house. So he pushed it open and saw just a mess in the kitchen. There was a tree tipped over, like a potted tree, spices all over the floor and strewn about, broken dishes in the sink, and a white powder on the floor that he figured was Comet because there was a container of Comet up by the sink. But in the powder was Jack's West Point sword and shield on the floor.
He's got a sword and a shield. Dope.
And in the powder, there was a very clear bare footprint on the kitchen
Bare
floor.
footprint, okay.
Bare. Not a shoe print, just a bare male foot. It was a large foot.
Odd for December 31st if it's a burglar.
Very odd since it's
Yeah.
a bit chilly.
Yeah. So the police investigated and found the prized ceremonial sword, and there was a book open on the kitchen counter. It was The Long Gray Line by former Washington Post reporter Rick Atkinson, which was about the West Point class of 66, and Jack Wheeler was very heavily featured in that book. So it was basically a book about him and others in his class.
Huh. Well,
And it was found
like an exciting book.
Maybe many went on to storied careers, Carrie.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Another neighbor testified that Wheeler's television blared continuously in the days preceding his death.
Days, plural.
Days.
Huh.
That's interesting.
So it
Crazy.
didn't seem like this burglary was an isolated thing. Didn't seem like his death was an isolated thing. The things had been happening in the days preceding his death.
It doesn't sound like a burglary at all.
No.
Burglars don't hang out with blaring TVs and
No.
walk
And,
barefoot after.
leave the sword and shield
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
And it sure sounds like a scuffle.
And a barefoot. Like, that doesn't sound like something that was planned.
No. It sounds like a fight, doesn't it? It looks like a fight.
Yeah.
With stuff knocked over and strewn about and broken. I mean, that sounds like there was some
Yeah.
kind of an altercation in the kitchen.
But
Yeah.
they didn't officially declare it a crime scene. They did not consider it
Well,
a
it-
crime scene.
I guess it's not. I mean, if it's not obvious stuff missing or a lot of it,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, but
you know,
when the owner of the house is found dead,
later on,
it
yeah,
might
yeah, you're
become
right.
a
Yeah.
crime scene.
Yeah, that should make it a crime scene.
And so while Jack didn't call the police to report it, it was his neighbor who
Right.
reported the possible burglary. He did email Meter saying that his home had been broken into and his cell phone, badge, key fob, and briefcase were stolen.
Oh.
So he's basically warning them that, hey, my house was
Yeah.
burglarized
Right.
and all this stuff I used to gain access to your information has compromised.
Yeah, that's now. And I believe that was the day before he was found, or 2 days before he was found. You know, it was pretty.
It was very
couple days?
close. It was like 2 days before. And then a few days before that, there was an incident across the street at a construction site of a house where someone set off smoke bombs and damaged the property.
Oh.
And at the scene, the cops found Jack's cell phone.
But after they found him, though, correct?
Yes. Another neighbor, Scott Morris, had called the police on that night, December 28th, said he saw a figure in the home under construction lighting what looked like small balls of fire and tossing them on the floor. And the article that I found that in said they looked like rodent smoke bombs.
Smoke bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, but they don't sound like literal smoke bombs, because if they're smoke bombs, it's just sort of vandalism. If they're trying to start and burn down, it was a partially constructed house.
Yes.
So if they're trying, it could have been an incompetent attempt to burn the house down, as opposed to just sort of, if they're not literally smoke bombs.
And it seemed very probable or possible that Jack was involved because he had been fighting the people constructing that house. He'd even filed lawsuits against them because he did not want it to be built.
It was like it blocked their view of the water or something like that, right?
It blocked their view. He called it sacrilege that it was going to be built on that plot of land.
Even though it was a home plot.
Yeah.
Talk about your NIMBY.
Entitled.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was.
But he was, filing lawsuits to prevent the construction at the home. And then they find his cell phone at the site of the smoke bombs on that night on a slice of private land within Battery Park. I guess that was his neighborhood's. And he was really upset about it. So it was one of his wife's theories that her husband was killed because of his involvement with the lawsuits and stuff.
So so she's describing either the homeowner or the contractor of being a thug.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Or of hiring somebody.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy smoke bombed my construction site. I'm going to kill him. That's escalation.
Stretch, yeah.
And also they found a to-do list dated December 5th that mentioned hacking a target associated with the construction dispute.
Of Jack's.
It was Jack's to-do list.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
Wait, what did it say?
Love it.
It mentioned hacking a target associated with the construction dispute. So it's not verbatim what was on the list, but that's what they...
Like hacking their website or something.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Because he was involved in cybersecurity.
Right,
So
yeah, that's
he
true.
kind of knew
Yeah.
about that stuff.
So in that case, the contractor, he's going to try, I don't know to what end, but...
Yeah.
He believed
or the
that...
owner of the land, his business or something like that. Maybe.
Well, he believed that they were getting built off of corrupt government officials.
What?
He thought the whole thing was illegal, but corrupt government was letting it go ahead.
So they bribed the planning
Zoning.
commission or something like that to allow that to be built, something like
Yes.
that.
Oh, okay.
And he was going to try to. So that would make sense. He's going to try to get emails or something
Hack.
like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
hack-
Gotcha.
To say drop
Yeah.
off the 500 items, or whatever. Okay.
So very early on, it was kind of suggested that Jack had set the smoke bombs, dropped his cell phone. He, got back to his own house, realized that his cell phone was missing, and went into a bipolar episode.
So it just
And
he
trashed
realized,
his own
oh,
kitchen.
Shit,
Yeah.
I am screwed. They're going to find my cell phone. Well, why would you assume they? Because the cell phone was found after his body was found. So if he knew the cell phone, he was missing his cell phone and suspected he dropped it at the construction site where he's planting the smoke bombs, you go over there and retrieve your cell phone
Right.
as opposed to freak out and drive into Wilmington.
You're not mentally ill. So.
Well, I know, but still.
But they said he basically, went into an episode, panicked, trashed his kitchen, and, ran off. But it was pretty easily debunked because they had taken the floorboards of the footprint, and it would have been very easy to prove whether or not that was Jack's footprint. But they never really announce whether or not it belongs to him. And
Doesn't that imply it does not belong to him?
yeah. So that would be like someone else was there when
Yeah.
this happened. He
Right.
didn't just do this himself and run off.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, it would be incredibly illogical. He can just go over there and find his cell phone.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture at least of it. It's just laying on the ground. Yeah, it's
in the grass. It's just right
it's
there.
pretty visible. I mean, you'd have to walk around and look at it from above and find it. But still, if you say, "Oh shit, did I lose my cell phone when I was out there last night?" you would find it.
Yeah.
But his neighbor also called the police when he saw him do it. Or saw someone.
Yeah, so he went
There.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but
who knows
still,
how fast the police got there?
I don't know. No, like I said, I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I asked you before. Wasn't the cell phone found after he died?
Yes, but he didn't know
Okay,
that.
then. So the police had not found the cell phone yet.
But that might have been why he didn't go back for it if he like heard sirens.
Yeah, because the police were coming.
That doesn't make sense.
So he thought the police were already there, so there's no hope to
Yeah.
go back.
I don't know.
Even if they hadn't found it, they knew something had
Again, we
happened
have
there.
And
no
that-
idea if he was thinking logically.
That's why we
either.
And that's why
That's
he
why we
would.
did timeline.
That's why he would freak out
Yeah, I know.
when he
but
realized
I
the
don't know.
police are there and I don't have my phone.
So okay, these are two different events then. The smoke bomb event, the police were called and the police came for that incident. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying? Okay, and then whatever days later was when the neighbors saw the ajar door, et cetera. And
Yeah, when he
the day of
noticed
he
the
was
mess.
found. Okay.
So he
that's
basically
days
lied
later.
to his company when he said, my house was broken into and my cell phone was stolen.
Possibly.
As of now, we
he
don't know
knew-
that.
He knew he lost his cell phone at the house.
He didn't know that.
We don't know.
We don't know that. But this is pure supposition by the
Oh,
police. We don't know
okay.
for a fact he knew that. at
We
all.
know he lost his phone there, but we don't know that he knew that.
I would argue we didn't even know he lost his cell phone there. It
Oh,
might have been
because
placed there
somebody
by
else,
someone else.
and somebody else could have stolen it
Exactly.
and dropped it. Ah, gotcha.
That's what
Okay.
That's my pet theory, but we'll get to that.
Well, then that's more evidence that it was construction related. One of those guys.
Why?
'Cause they wanted to get him in trouble. They wanted to get him out of the way. He was an impediment to them building their.
Possibly.
Building.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Or it could make sense. Sure.
All right.
Thanks
I like
for
it,
that
Karen.
validation.
I like it.
Dean.
Well, I hadn't thought about that. It's a good, interesting idea.
By this point, the FBI gets involved and they set to getting a timeline of his movements. They do like CCTV footage.
Yeah.
HGTV footage.
Yes.
It was.
Looking for witnesses, taking statements, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it was
I think they just
determined-
started watching the property guys for a
Yes.
while, and then they.
Yeah.
Okay.
So December 28th, 7 a.m., Jack left New York. He was there to spend Christmas with his family. He left at 7 a.m. and he had to go to work. And he left for D.C. by train.
Was that
with
unexpected?
His phone on him.
Was that? Did they know he was going to only be there a couple days and go to work, or was it
No.
totally okay?
His family was mad. His wife was mad that
she
he
did
was
not
leaving
know.
right
Okay.
after Christmas. But they weren't wholly surprised because he was very dedicated to his
Okay.
work and kind of a
All right.
workaholic. But they weren't glad that he was leaving.
Okay. So it was not expected, but it's not inexplicable. It's not like that's really weird.
No.
Okay.
He arrived to D.C. at 1:20,
This
went
is
to work,
December 28th. Okay.
and he returned to Newcastle by 5:30 that same day.
Okay.
And then the smoke bomb incident happened that night at 11:30. All
Does he have an
before
alibi?
then, he had his phone on him, and they know that he had his phone on him when he took the
Okay.
train in
Yeah.
and stuff. His wife tried calling him the next day, and she couldn't reach him, but that wasn't uncommon either.
Okay.
And a lot of places don't go into this, but he and his wife were fighting around this time. Wheeler apparently emailed his therapist following a fight with his wife, saying he felt dazed and boxed in a corner. And it's not like proven that these are correlated, but he had also visited the Nemours building to possibly consult a lawyer.
The
And-
Nemours building. So it's a business
So it's
office
in Nemours.
building in Wilmington.
Yeah, it's a high-end office, high-rise.
Okay.
And apparently he had requested to speak with a managing partner at the firm.
But that doesn't mean it's divorced. That's not. Was he a family lawyer?
It doesn't say, because he never actually spoke to anyone.
Huh. Okay.
Could be related to the.
It
Yeah,
could be
exactly. That
related
seems more
to the
likely.
lawsuits. It could be related to him and his wife fighting. It doesn't really
Okay.
say. But all this never really points to her as a suspect, but it
Yeah.
explains how she didn't report him missing yet.
Well, her not reporting him missing is hardly inexplicable at all. It's just, she's just a phone call the morning after he left for
Yeah.
work. That's nothing.
Yeah, she
So
doesn't know. She
wouldn't
doesn't
have-
really know he's missing.
Not at all.
She wasn't worried
No.
yet. This wasn't uncommon.
Yeah.
They had just fought because he was leaving right after Christmas.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then after that is when he sent the email to Meter Company to tell them that his home had
No,
been
okay,
burned
when exactly?
after the smoke bombs.
So the 29th.
Yes.
Okay. So 12. Okay. So he lost it either that
It was
night.
within hours of his death, they said, 29th.
Oh.
Wait, what?
The day after the smoke
Before
bomb
his
on
death.
the 29th, before
Okay.
his death,
Okay.
he sent that email. No.
So again, that means that he either lost it the night before. He could have lost it that morning too.
Yeah.
Because it was during the day. Do you know when exactly he sent the email?
It doesn't say when exactly, just within hours of his last recorded moments.
And his last
on
recorded
the
moments,
29th.
I believe, were like 6:30ish or something like that. So that implies it'd be in the afternoon that he sent
Yeah.
that email. So he could have lost it sometime that morning too,
Yeah.
not just the night before, or at least realized it.
December 29th, 6 p.m. Jack is spotted going to the pharmacy not far from his home. It's where he got his prescriptions when he was at the Newcastle house. And apparently he was there looking for a ride to the Wilmington train station. He asked the pharmacist to, help him find a ride. And the pharmacist offered to call him a cab, but Wheeler left the store.
That's weird.
He's already acting strangely
Yeah,
then.
that's
Yeah.
like when
Because
they
doesn't he have-
see definitively that he's acting strange.
Doesn't he have a car?
He has a car.
And he has it there at Newcastle with him at the house.
Well,
He must, because he took
I
the
have an
train
answer
back
for
from New
that.
York, right?
yes.
Okay. So, okay.
Yeah, police believe that he wanted to pick up his car at the train station. He left it there
Oh, in town, like in Wilmington.
at the Wilmington
Got
train
it.
station.
Got it. So I see. So he left that at the Wilmington train station when he went to New York, and he came back from New York
But by train.
and by train. Presumably he would have. Then how did he get from
Why didn't he-
Wilmington to
yeah.
Newcastle? His
well,
home? Do we
his
know?
family said that he was often directionally challenged and absent-minded. So a lot of the times he would just park his car somewhere, forget where he parked it, and take cabs.
So he must have taken a cab from on the 28th. He took a
Yes.
cab from the Wilmington train station back to Newcastle, his house, and he worked. Okay, so
That's weird.
No,
Yeah.
he either
That's
took the
very
cab because he didn't know where his car was already. Because I'm not giving anything away, but we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Locating his car was a big part of his disappearance.
Yeah.
But so he may have already not known where his car was
Right.
on the 28th, the day before. Good Lord. The morning of.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Or he could have chosen, I'm going to go back into Wilmington. But then why would you do that? Because if you know the next day you're going to go from Newcastle to Wilmington, you'd be weird not to drive to your home in Newcastle rather than
Right.
take cabs. You have to take a cab right back to Wilmington the next
Yeah.
day.
Pretty early on that his actions did not really.
Make a lot of
Oh,
sense.
No.
I have an idea, though.
40 minutes later, at 6:40, he was spotted in a parking garage, appearing disoriented. There's security footage that shows him in distress, one shoe off his foot, no winter coat, acting paranoid, trying to enter a Wilmington parking garage, and told the attendant that his briefcase had been stolen and he was hoping to warm up in the garage before paying his parking fee.
Oh, okay.
And apparently he repeatedly told the attendant he wasn't drunk.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm not
this
drunk.
is 6 p.m.? 12:29.
6:40.
6:40.
Yes.
He's at the parking attendant, and he's acting, again, a little bit
A little suspicious.
incoherent.
I watched the security footage. He was kind of pacing a little bit, pivoting like on his feet. He was holding his shoe, or it looked like he was holding his shoe.
Yeah,
I could tell he wasn't wearing one of them.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was in his hand.
He's not wearing a shoe, and recall that there was a bare footprint on the kitchen and that there was broken glass on the kitchen floor.
Owie.
So did he cut his foot and it was acting up? Right. In the
Yeah.
part, is that why he's walking around with one shoe in his hand? And if I remember correctly, also he was having this weird conversation with the parking attendant, right? Saying, "I don't know where my car is," and he's
Says he doesn't know where his car is. His ticket for it is in his briefcase, but his briefcase was stolen.
was stolen. Yeah.
Okay.
She asked him, like, well, how did it happen?
Yeah.
And he just kept saying it was stolen.
So
He
he's
didn't
not
really provide a
answering the
story.
question.
Yeah.
And he was at the wrong parking garage.
Yeah. We know for a fact later on his car was at the Wilmington train station parking
Yes.
garage, and he was
He was
a few blocks away, I think.
He was
down-
he was close, but it was not the same parking garage. But like we said, he was kind of known for displacing his car and taking cabs.
So
That's
weird.
that's very
is
weird.
crazy.
Now they say that after the fact. I mean, did he really? I mean, it's one thing to forget what level you parked on. I've done that. We've all done that.
Yeah.
I hope we've all done that because I know I have
Gotten
done
lost and
that.
forgotten which parking garage.
Actually, I did.
Yeah.
I did that once,
done that before
and the parking attendant says, "Keep looking. I'll come down there and drive you around. You'll find it because 99.9999% of the time your car was not stolen, like you're freaking out and
Right.
think it is."
Yeah.
So, but to forget what structure, and
And he was
especially
at the completely wrong
Just-
building.
she's
oh,
done
you've
it.
done that.
Yeah.
You forgot what structure you parked
We're like,
at?
were there two? We were very confused.
You know,
but
okay,
yeah.
Was
here's
it
a-
like on the same area?
Yeah.
And
Was
you
it
just
old
didn't know if
set?
you were in A or B?
Yeah, that's different. Not forgetting if you're in, say, there's multiple parking structures in a few block radius. That's not crane station parking
See.
structure. That's a very
Yeah.
specific structure.
Yeah.
I used
That's
to forget
odd.
which structure I parked on campus when I was
Yeah.
a student. Like I didn't know I'm on
Right,
this side
that's
of
right.
campus or the other.
I've had a few of those.
I have not ever forgotten the structure. I have forgotten the level. I just wonder how much are they exaggerating his, oh, he always displaced his car kind of thing after the fact? Because that seems odd.
One of his like coworkers or friends kind of like explained it away, like, oh, he had so much going
Yeah.
on in his head and so much knowledge and so many like things up in the air with his foundations and the cybersecurity consulting that he just kind of like threw other things out of his head,
Yeah.
like where his car was.
Okay.
That's what
We'll
I
just have
say
to take
too, but I don't think that's really a thing.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
That's called
People talk
executive
about, like,
dysfunction.
Yeah.
He was executively dysfunctional.
People talk about like deleting
that's a
things in
thing.
their memories. Like, I don't really think that's
Not where
something
you
you
parked your
consciously
car.
do. And I don't think you would consciously delete where you parked your car.
Yeah.
No.
But Aaron,
That's not possible.
But Aaron, is it possible for your executive dysfunction to be limited to
No.
that kind of area? Wouldn't it?
It would, bleed into other parts.
Yeah.
Which,
Like doing your job,
Yeah.
right?
or other things.
Yeah. Paying your bills.
Yeah. Knowing where you put shit, that is a big thing.
Yeah.
I can't find
Yeah,
something.
but-
I can't find two things right now. God damn it. Well,
At this point, people were kind of like, oh, maybe he's going through a mental break at this. He's
Yeah.
acting very weird. He's not acting like himself at all.
Yeah.
And the footage when he's talking to the parking attendant through the window, he's kind of being very insistent, and then he's like peeking around a corner,
Yeah.
looking behind him, almost like he thinks he's being followed,
Right.
or he thinks.
Well,
Could he have been paranoid or had
Yeah.
some paranoid
Or-
delusions? It's almost Elisa Lam-like, by the way. The video's
Yeah.
a little bit Elisa Lam-esque, not as extreme as her behavior, but
but
No.
maybe he's rightfully scared of something
Exactly.
or someone.
It
He
could
does
be
end up dead in the
paranoia.
landfill.
so did
So,
Elisa Lam, dead in the
Yeah.
water tank.
yep.
it was very valid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be a real thing, or it could not be.
But like we said, his car wasn't there. They found it in completely
Yeah.
different.
But again, that at least as a possibility, that's a normal
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And so people were kind of between the two ideas that he had a mental break or he was attacked that night. 'Cause,
Yeah.
missing shoe and stuff. But, he still has his valuables on him.
Yeah.
Except for the briefcase. They never find the briefcase to
Yeah.
this day.
Well, so he doesn't have all of his valuables.
Yeah.
But he has like his Rolex and his West Point ring and even some cash. So it's kind of unlikely it would be a robbery.
Yeah, but not if somebody just whacked him and stole his briefcase. I don't know what you think
Did-
would be in a briefcase that would be valuable, but
I guess we don't have any way of knowing that he had his briefcase when he went back there on the 29th, back from Newcastle, his home, to Wilmington.
Yeah.
We don't know if he had his briefcase. The briefcase might already be gone.
that's true.
And he said he had cash, right? So why is he looking for a ride? That implies he doesn't. Did he have his wallet when he was found? Do you know?
They didn't say his wallet, but
Because
they
he
just
can't-
said he had some cash on his
Some
body.
cash, but not enough to have a lot of cab rides. It almost seems like he was looking for a ride from the pharmacy because he didn't have his wallet. He didn't have his briefcase. He had some cash. He just happened to have it in his pocket. He knew he was going to need that for potentially a cab ride. So he's looking for a ride
Yeah.
into Wilmington because he can't afford a cab or wants to conserve what little cash he does have.
Yeah.
Very possibly. That night, police think that he slept in basements under the buildings in that area. There was like the Hotel DuPont.
DuPont, the Hotel DuPont. Okay. DuPont.
And
I'm
there-
assuming.
Depot.
Is it
No,
DuPont? It's got to be
it's
DuPont.
DUPOT.
Oh, it's Depot. That's
D-U.
Really?
D-U?
D-U.
Yeah, I'm fucking with
P-O-T.
y'all.
It's got to be P-O-N-T. It's got to be a typo.
And that was how it was in multiple articles.
Really? That doesn't make any sense. Look it up. I bet your money that's DuPont. Because DuPont's it's a huge chemical firm, and they're a very prominent family in Delaware.
It's a hotel.
I know.
All right.
It is DuPont.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe you.
Okay, so he's found in the he may have slept in the. Like,
They don't
the
know
basements of the
exactly where he
Hotel
was.
DuPont.
There are tunnels and basements underneath many buildings in that area. The hotel was like one of the bigger ones, but there was also a location of a meter corporation in that area too.
So he knew downtown Wilmington. It makes you think
He knew
that-
the area very well.
It makes you think that he, for what again, he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have his wallet. He doesn't have his briefcase. What little cash he has, he's got to save for a just in case, so he can't go get a hotel. And the fact that he's not calling his wife for help or someone for help, it says he's up to something. He needs
There's
to
a reason.
accomplish
Yeah.
something before he does that. So I can't afford to get a hotel. I need to go sleep in somewhere where I'm safe and out of the cold. He knows he's probably been at numerous conferences and board meetings and stuff like that in those nice downtown Wilmington hotels. So he knows which ones one he can kind of sneak into.
Yeah.
Or maybe bluff his way into, and then he knows to stay out of sight up in the lonely basements where people,
They basically said it's
man.
either he knew the area well enough, he'd been to, conferences and stuff, and he knew how to get into the basement, get into the lower levels, and kind of just find a corner to sleep.
Yeah.
Or he
Free.
just tried doors until he found one that wasn't locked.
That's true
Yeah.
too. Yeah, could have just been pure luck, but still, that kind of fits with the theory that he was doing something. Because it's you can't find your car. You went there weirdly. Back from Newcastle to Wilmington already. You're going to do something. And it's a little bit on the down low because otherwise you call your family and say, help,
Right. Yeah.
send me some cash. And he's a well-dressed, he's in a suit and tie, white male, 66 years old. He could have got 100 people to let him use their landline to call his wife for help.
Yeah.
But he never does.
No.
The next day, so
This is
now
12/30th?
December 30th,
Okay.
security footage and eyewitnesses spotted Wheeler sporting
Okay.
a black hoodie.
Looking fresh, looking clean.
Without his sports coat, right? His
Yeah.
suit coat. So that almost implies he traded his suit coat for a hoodie from like a homeless
Yeah.
person maybe or at a Goodwill
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
And so cameras and people saw him just kind of wandering through office buildings in the area, including Meter Corporation. He appeared confused and disoriented and refused several offers of help.
Yeah.
Fugue state.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Security footage last saw him at 8:42 p.m. on December 30th.
8:42
8:42.
p.m. So he's wandering around
PM.
all day,
All day.
well
At
into the
night.
evening. Good Lord.
Palling around. Guys.
Yes.
And according to the Daily Press, the direction he was walking was a high crime area of Wilmington.
Oh, okay.
But that's the last footage
Sighting.
of him at all. As we know, the next morning on the 31st, right before 10, he is found by a worker in the landfill. It was not a real crime scene. It wasn't really something they could tape off.
Right.
But they tried their best, and they found that the trash surrounding his body came from Newark, which is 14 miles away from Wilmington.
Okay. So Newark, Delaware.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So not Newcastle,
Not Newcastle,
but
not
14
New
miles away
York.
from Wilmington where he was
14
last seen.
miles away from where he was
Wow.
last seen the night before on security cameras.
That's weird.
So they contacted the Newark police, and they went right to work. They came up with the garbage truck that they believed dumped the body and investigated all the dumpsters on its route, swabbed them, and found a partial DNA match in one dumpster.
Oh,
That's how they explain how he ended up in the landfill.
right.
So it's not someone personally dumped him in the landfill like previously thought, which is why people thought it was a professional hit and this
Right.
big
But still,
conspiracy.
his body's got to get
It's-
into a dumpster
yes.
somehow.
In
Newark,
Newark.
14 miles away from where he was last seen
Yes.
with little or no money left.
So he didn't get to Newark
disoriented.
on his own.
No.
He got a ride. I was driven.
Yeah, and so
Whether against his will or not, we don't know.
So the dumpster was in a heavily traveled commercial area of Newark. The truck began its route at 4:30 a.m. and arrived at the landfill at 10 a.m. and made like 10 stops at a bunch of businesses, senior complex, car dealership, public library. Many of the dumpsters were locked and had surveillance cameras in the vicinity. So police believe that Wheeler's body was picked up towards the beginning of the driver's route.
Which means on the morning of the 31st, right? Early the morning of the
Yes.
31st.
Yeah.
Because he
Very
was
early
seen
on.
8:42.
So
Okay.
closer to 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Then
So his body was put in there late the night of the 30th, or
very
really
early
morning,
morning of the 31st.
Okay.
yeah.
Because we know
Witching
he's
hour.
because we know at 8:42 he was still 14 miles away
Yes.
on the night of the 30th.
And at this point, when this information came to light, a witness came forth saying they saw Jack in a cab sharing it with someone because they were going to Newark. Like the way they said it was that he decided to share this cab with someone who was already in the cab after he asked them where they were going and they said Newark. And he
Oh.
got in with them. But while the police can't really throw this out, they're not necessarily claiming that it's super valid and they're taking it as oak.
You mean that might be, and they think there might.
It might be they saw someone else who kind of
Yeah.
looks like Jack, and
Yeah,
you know,
because Newark.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's an odd place. You just happen to. Where you going? Oh, Newark. Okay, that's where I'm headed. Oh my God, let's share a cab. That
Yeah.
seems very strange.
And all old white guys look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially like it was at least past 8:42, so it was night, and
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. I think they're right.
So
to take
like
that
we're
with a
not
grain of salt.
dismissing it, but we're not really.
Yeah, right.
We can't find a lead out of that,
Right.
And the garbage men of the area said that it was pretty common for people to crawl into dumpsters via a side door. I saw it on the episode. They have little sliding doors, and there's one that's like 8 feet and one that's 6 feet.
Really?
So it's pretty easy and common for like homeless people and
Yeah.
stuff to open the side door on the 6-foot one and jump in just to get warm, get some sleep. And this was like dead of winter night.
You
in
know
December.
who wouldn't know that? Jack Wheeler. I mean, unless you knew a lot
Yeah.
about dumpsters, I wouldn't know that. I'm not a dumpster aficionado, although it's a good magazine. But
Huh.
Yes. But also his body was not in great shape. He was beaten.
beaten to death. That's the cause of death.
Yes. Well, the official like code is blunt force trauma.
Okay.
And it's a homicide. It
Yeah.
was immediately ruled a murder. He had like a collapsed lung, broken ribs, a neck injury, a bleeding head injury. He was just
So
like
beat the shit out of him.
beaten to a pulp.
Not a possibility of him just being tousled about
Yeah.
a dumpster into a truck and into
Yeah.
the landfill. Okay.
Like none of his injuries were consistent with just crawling into a dumpster
Yeah.
and being tossed into the back of a truck.
Far more likely he was dumped into the dumpster.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And he also suffered a heart attack,
Wow.
which is not included in a lot of articles and reports, and it's not included in the episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
They don't mention that he had a heart attack. But yeah, the autopsy said he was beaten up and
So-
had a heart attack.
So it's
But-
possible he wasn't being consciously beaten to death. He was being beaten for some other reason and happened to have a heart attack and died. And they freak out.
Well,
Whoever's
he
beating him
died
freaks
from
out.
the blunt force trauma. He happened to have a heart attack as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said the cause of death was the hit.
Okay.
But also, he's 66 years old.
Yeah.
He was very disoriented. He might not have really been able to fight back
Yeah.
as well as he might have in other circumstances. It's a mystery for a reason.
Yeah.
And I have a list of people's main theories.
Let's hear it.
Yes.
Theories.
Some of the very basic ones where they thought he was mugged, and it was a mugging gone wrong. He was in the wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But muggers don't really dump bodies.
Yeah. Why would they?
They
Yeah.
leave them where they are.
Yeah.
And
if he's being
he
mugged,
still
they-
had cash, his Rolex, and his West Point ring.
See, robbery doesn't make any sense at all.
Doesn't.
Not for the
Yeah.
circumstance of his death and also where his body is found.
Yeah.
Why bother putting him in a dumpster? Yeah.
A lot of people go with the very sensationalized theory of he knew too much
Yeah.
and was assassinated.
Yeah.
Either by
fun.
an enemy, a lot of people say Russia or China, for his connections and his knowledge of cybersecurity, like national cybersecurity.
Well, if it was Russia, he would have been poisoned.
It would that would explain that could explain the beating. He was essentially being beaten for information, beaten to fess up.
And that
It-
would explain his missing briefcase.
It would
They
explain the
didn't
missing
care about his
briefcase,
ring, his
but-
Rolex. They cared about the papers in his briefcase.
But it doesn't explain any of the things that preceded that.
Yeah.
He went consciously by himself into Wilmington under those very strange circumstances,
Yes.
trying to hitch a ride,
Yeah.
etc. None of that says Russian people are after him. Not at all.
Yeah.
Guess he thought his car was being tracked.
Even then. Even then, you have, unless you're see, that implies, I realize now, I think his briefcase and wallet were already missing on the morning when he went to the pharmacy to ask for a ride, because otherwise
Right.
you get a
Yeah.
cab.
Yeah.
his briefcase was not in any of the security footage.
Yeah, his briefcase and wallet were already gone.
Also,
They-
I think if it had to do with his work or something like that, you make a phone call to your office.
Exactly.
Or,
So it's not to do with his work.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
people also theorized that it was the U.S. government
What?
who assassinated him
But-
because he was going to be a whistleblower and he was going to spill the secrets of chemical weapon stash.
Is there
And
any
Okay,
real
that's just-
evidence of
No.
any of this?
That's
Yeah.
just
But
that's
That's
fun,
a
yeah.
popular
bad
Reddit theory.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
dumb Reddit.
Yeah. His wife, Catherine, did say that her bet was on a hired hitman.
Yeah, but then again,
Did Catherine say why?
She said because no one ever stepped forward to claim the $25,000 reward the family offered for any substantive information of
you know
Wheeler's
why?
death.
Because they
We
killed
don't have
him.
any. But
And
that
you
happens all the
don't-
time.
You don't want to go
Yeah.
get the award when you kill him. Yeah, I think there's. I just know her from the unsolved mystery thing, but she has a little bit of. I mean, he was a great guy. He was a very prominent person, but she has a little bit of an inflated view of him and his circumstances and what he did. He wasn't doing,
Yeah.
he wasn't this incredibly important, super high tech, cybersecurity guy. He was a,
Oh,
upper middle
but-
management.
I'm sure he said he was.
Yeah, maybe I can't tell you what I do. And also the surmising that it was from the lack of the reward. It's just that's just sloppy thinking.
Well, she was quoted telling Slate in 2011, I think perhaps no one has been on the reward because they've already been paid. So hired him, man. The way they disposed of his body, it's a miracle anybody ever found it. That just sounds like a pro to me.
But we know that's not true
Yeah.
because it's actually found immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
wasn't
a
dumped in
pro
the
doesn't
landfill, it was
put it in
dumped
a
in
dumpster,
dumpster.
in
Yeah,
Newark.
yeah.
They go and they bury it in that landfill. They go personally to that landfill
Yeah.
and they make sure it's not right. I've seen the picture. He's right on top. He's plain for anybody around there
Yeah.
to see. So yeah, the driver, anybody dumping anything in that area is going to see it immediately.
Yeah.
That does not say a pro at all.
No. Other people said it was probably a terrible random accident because he was walking into a dangerous part of town in Wilmington.
Yeah.
So that kind
Another
of goes
wrong
with the
place,
mugging.
wrong time.
Yeah.
But not
Or
necessarily a
just
theft
got into an altercation
thing.
of
Yes.
some sort. Okay.
Walked into a drug deal. Walked into,
Yeah.
something.
Just
Said
someone.
the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people theorize that he was in a car accident, that his blunt force injuries were the result of being hit by a car.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
you sideswipe him, you get out, he's in bad shape, you dump his body in the dumpster, and you get out of there. And
Yeah.
you don't. Yeah, I know, but did it really at all? It doesn't seem like it tallies with a car accident. It seems too his
No,
wounds?
all of
Doctors
the injuries of
Like-
the
Yeah.
Just from a high velocity.
the placement of the injuries very much correlate to where you would aim if you're beating someone.
Okay, yeah.
It was
the
like he
ribs
was
and-
bleeding from his mouth, his
Yeah.
ribs, his head.
Okay. Or if you're being beaten and you
Oh.
fall on your head, maybe
Yes.
onto the cement, whatever.
If he's being, yeah.
But they pretty
I
much
get it.
said like, oh, he was walking weird on the footage. Maybe he stepped into traffic. He was also wearing a dark hoodie at that point, which made him hard to see at night if he
Yeah.
was in the road.
I
And
could
then,
be
you
giving
know,
too much to forensic science, but I feel like if he was hit by a car, they'd know.
I would
yeah,
think so too.
there would be some mark left. There would be an indentation of a bumper.
yeah.
There would be
Paint
paint.
on
Yeah.
They usually
seriously.
can't tell.
Okay.
And I think blunt force trauma, they could tell if you're hit with a pipe or a wrench or something
Or just
versus being knocked on the ground.
Knocked on the ground
Yeah.
and hit your head real hard or something.
Yeah.
A lot of people went with the theory that he climbed into the dumpster himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't
Yeah.
explain after
It
being
doesn't-
beaten
the injuries,
No.
to
yeah.
death, or
Yeah.
then he succumbs to his terrible beating in the
Yeah.
dumpster. That doesn't make sense because
No.
again,
Because to die like a raccoon.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you'd go to help. You wouldn't
Yeah.
hide away.
Yeah.
I would think.
That was a lot of early theories, and people kind of quickly debunked them because they're like, you know, we've seen what his injuries were. That doesn't happen from climbing into a dumpster and then getting
Yeah.
tossed into a truck.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Some say maybe he jumped from a moving car.
Same thing though. The injuries
Yeah.
don't seem to support that. Like you said, they seem like targeted injuries, and that's
Yeah.
not.
And they said he
He
probably
jumped head first.
yeah he jumped from a moving
Rib.
car. That's why he was only wearing one shoe, and why
Well, you
it took
wouldn't
him
have your
40
shoe.
minutes
He
to
had his
get
shoe,
from the
though.
pharmacy. And that's what it appeared to me in the footage. It looked like he was holding his
yeah.
shoe.
No, I thought it was pretty much acknowledged he's holding his shoe. He's clearly holding his
Yeah.
shoe. So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then they say, oh, then he jumped into the dumpster and succumbed to his injuries.
Yeah.
Some people do say that. Me just now, a minute ago.
But after jumping out of a car,
Oh,
that's
okay.
part of their
Yeah.
theory.
Also seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some people say it was part of the neighborhood feud with the construction
Yeah.
house across the street, that it was all tied to the smoke bombs and the lawsuits and is fighting zoning approval and
So they went
bitching
after,
about them obstructing his view of the Delaware River.
Yeah.
So that goes
That's
back
just-
to that they hired someone to rough him up and or kill him.
Yes.
Then what it doesn't explain though again is all of the activity preceding that, the weirdness, if you're there's none of that. It doesn't explain the getting a ride at the pharmacy rather than just taking a cab. It doesn't explain why he's wandering around all over the place.
Yeah.
You'd get the hell out. If you thought someone was after you, had good reason to think so, you can get out of Dodge. It doesn't
Yeah.
explain anything that preceded his being beaten to death,
Yeah.
other than his being beaten to death. So
And
it
most
doesn't fit the
people
facts.
agree that it's pretty thin theory. It's a bit of a stretch to think that really
Yeah.
Well,
falls into everything else. And the neighbors working on the construction issued a statement of condolence after
Well,
his death.
I was going to say, presumably they were all questioned and their
Yeah.
Yeah.
alibis were checked. And
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
checked to see if they
Does-
perhaps hired somebody.
Doesn't
or
mean it
whatever.
wasn't, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. The better argument against that is just it fits no fact other than him being beaten to death, and even
Yeah.
that's a huge stretch because then you have to assume he's literally being. They hired a killer because he's fighting, from what I understand, a losing fight.
Yeah.
He was almost certainly going to lose that
Right. Yeah.
lawsuit. He was just a nuisance.
Yeah.
The main theories all avoid him experiencing a bipolar episode,
Yeah.
explaining his erratic behavior. And there's kind of two sides to it. On one side, some people say as a result of a bipolar episode, he could have been confused, disoriented, made odd decisions that he
Yeah.
normally wouldn't have, such as climbing into a dumpster for warmth in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then a garbage truck came in the morning and manhandled him, could have killed him. Again, it's already kind of been established that his injuries aren't consistent
Yeah.
with just climbing into the dumpster
But
I mean-
him behaving erratically
Yes.
because
Yes.
of
because of a bipolar
a
episode.
bipolar episode caused him to have some sort of unpleasant interaction with somebody.
That's the other side
Yeah.
of the theory, that all of his actions, because he was in the middle of a break, found Wheeler met with foul play.
Yeah. Had he ever did he have a history of having any kind of episodes or?
Nothing that was ever stated.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was pretty odd that
I guess it can happen.
He'd
for
never
the
had.
first
Yeah, you're right.
time, but-
You're right. He'd never had a breakdown before, but it could have happened
Yeah.
the
It was
first time.
odd because usually they say you mellow with age.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they said like his guard might have been down, he was lost, couldn't find his car. Someone might have taken advantage and killed him.
Yeah.
But
But the motivation for killing him is completely missing there.
Yeah.
Unless it's, again, I would still say if you go back to a mugging,
Yeah.
they take his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
take
he
his cash,
still
his watch,
had,
his Rolex.
like, very ostentatious, expensive stuff on
so
his body.
The mugging, So the bipolar can explain everything up to the killing. It really can't explain,
Yeah.
or some of it up to
Yes.
killing. It can't explain the killing.
It
Yeah.
can explain his behavior in the footage, but it doesn't really lend itself to motive.
Not at all.
Another theory kind of has to do with mental health, but it's not related to his bipolar at all, or not like directly. They said that they could see or theorize that Wheeler was exhibiting symptoms of early onset dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
does
very
sound
possible.
a little bit
And-
like dementia.
Bipolar disorder could predisposition him to dementia.
I
Oh.
didn't know about that.
Yeah. Paul Lind, who is an emergency psychiatrist at the University of California, San Francisco.
No, he's the center of the Hollywood Square. But go on.
He said that disorientation lasting for several days can be caused by several mental health or medical issues, including stroke, heart problems, problems with medication, or past mental illness. But he also said that he didn't think someone of Wheeler's age was likely to have a first-time psychiatric episode. Sounds
So
like
it'd be
he had.
smaller events leading up to something this big. Is that?
He would have had somebody. It doesn't make it would make more sense for him to have a psychotic break like that if he had had one in the past.
Yeah.
But it's very strange for someone to have their first one when they're old
At
like that.
66.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
if you had one when he was 20 and then when he was 30
Really?
something or whatever,
Okay.
like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it's just something that happens.
Huh.
He was quoted saying, "It sounds like he had a break from reality, but it's hard to speculate on what would have caused it."
Yeah.
Because we really don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know if there was a trigger. We don't know if he mixed up his medications. We don't know if
Well,
he was attacked
That's more
before
likely,
he went to the
honestly.
pharmacy.
but he was
and-
under some amount of stress.
Yes.
He had
Yes.
several stressful things going on in his life. A little bit of disharmony with his wife, the lawsuit, upset over the construction thing.
It sounds a little bit more like Gary's fugue state than it does dementia or even
Yeah.
a bipolar episode.
Yeah.
Do you know, did he ever tell the parking attendant at 6:40 p.m. or so that he's having when he had the shoe and all that in his hand? Did he ever tell her his name? Did he ever say his name?
No.
Okay.
But see, he knew that he parked his car somewhere around
Yeah, I
there. He
know.
knew that his briefcase was gone. So that part doesn't sound like a fugue state.
It doesn't, but I mean, I imagine
But
that
the stress of that
gradations.
could have led to a fugue state.
It sounds like he's already no. If it's a fugue
He's
state,
already
he's already
weird,
in it.
yeah.
By the time he's got one shoe in his hand and he's walking around the parking structure. I mean, he's already acted weird that entire day.
Yeah.
Wheeler was buried at Arlington National Cemetery.
I have a theory.
Can I finish?
Yeah, I suppose, but I gotta do my theory. All right.
Well, we'll do Shots in the Dark. With full military honors in April 2011. No suspects have ever been arrested in connection with Wheeler's death. And the Delaware Crime Stoppers offer cash reward for information.
That has not been taken, therefore it was a hitman.
Yes.
So-
Shots in the Dark. Dean, your theory?
okay, here's my theory. Do you have one, Kara? I'll do mine.
Yeah. I mean,
Can I do mine first? Is that all
go
right?
for it.
Okay. Here's what I think. This is part speculation, but it actually does fit the facts. Of course, it's speculation. Did he hire someone, an arsonist, to burn down or bomb that house? As he knew he's going to lose the lawsuit, he's going to do a more extreme measure and slow them down much more. I mean, it was partially built. In fact, it was it was well into the wood framing of the house. Did he hire someone in Wilmington, let's say, to burn that house down for him? So he goes from New York unexpectedly back to Wilmington. He then is met by that person as prearranged, and that person drives that person's car and Jack back to Newcastle, his home, where they're going to do the deed, right? And his expectation is that that person will drive him back to the train station in his car the next day. He's going to spend the night at Jack's house. They do the thing there, but he loses his cell phone. It doesn't burn down. He's upset. And this is nefarious person to some degree because he is an arsonist or something like that. He spends the night. Jack wakes up and finds him doing what? Robbing his house, taking his why are you laughing? He's taking his wallet. He's taking his briefcase. He's maybe taking a look at that sword and that shield. Who knows? There's an altercation in the kitchen. He's barefoot because he's spent the night. And again, we don't know for a fact. We don't know one way or the other whether that's Jack's foot or not Jack's foot.
No, the police never confirm or deny whose footprint
it could have been his footprint.
It could have.
And he chases that guy out. That guy either chucks. They either already lost the cell phone at the construction site, or alternatively, that guy chucks the phone, or even plants it at the site because to get back at Jack, who is and that person gets into his car, drives off. Jack then is now left with a terrible situation. He has no wallet. He has no briefcase. This guy stole some. His cell phone is missing because he maybe doesn't know that his cell phone is at the construction site, and so he's got to get back to Wilmington to catch up with this guy and what the hell and confront him. So his trip, and he has a little bit of cash. So he knows he might need that down the road. I don't want to spend that on a cab right away. I obviously can't call my wife for help because I'm up to some no good that I don't want her to be involved with. He finds that and so his day is spent looking around for this guy that he had met originally in Wilmington, but he doesn't know exactly where he is. And he may have, under the stress, he is having a bipolar condition, and that explains a lot of his behavior. But the reason he's not accepting help from the numerous people who offered it or reaching out for help is because he still has to, his mission is to find this guy and confront him and either get his stuff back or go back and burn the house down. You didn't do it well enough. So and then how he gets to Newark, I don't know. But it could be that he does find the guy, and the guy says, "Okay, fine, let's go to my house." And that guy lives in Newark, and then they go there, and there's a confrontation, and that guy's younger and stronger and beats the shit out of him, unexpectedly, perhaps killing him, and says shit, and he dumps his body in a dumpster near his apartment or house in Newark, and the rest is coincidence in terms of his body being found and all that. That's my theory. It's pure speculation.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, Carrie is over there snickering for some reason. I'm not sure why, because it's actually a pretty
Because
sound
it's
theory.
very serious.
Yeah, because you don't have any reason to believe any of that happened.
It fits the facts
The stuff
very,
that you
very, very
added.
well. The stuff that I added is really the motive. But that does fit. It does explain why he was not getting help, reaching out for help. He was up to something, and that something was at least semi no good when he's in Wilmington, and would also explain why I'm convinced he was missing his wallet and briefcase from the morning of, because that guy took it from him. Otherwise, why is he missing his wallet and briefcase? It had been robbed from him. It had been taken from him. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense that he doesn't have his wallet or his briefcase.
Yeah, he said somebody stole his briefcase.
Yeah, somebody did steal his briefcase, but he can't say who. He knows he has to tell his employer that because he has to explain why he doesn't have his briefcase and his cell phone. But he was very evasive about what exactly happened to him. How? Was it a break-in? He's home. It doesn't make any sense. It makes much more sense that he knows the person that stole it, but he can't admit a connection with that person because that's the person he hired to burn down the house down the block. I think it makes a great deal of sense. It explains everything. I'm not saying it's for sure right, but it explains everything. It explains some things that are otherwise inexplicable, like most importantly, why his briefcase and wallet were gone and how they got gone and why he wasn't allowing or taking any help.
With him hiring a no good criminal to burn down the house and then invite him to spend the night at his house. That makes
Well,
zero sense.
no, of course it does. He's a professional arsonist who says, whatever he is. He's not. I'm not saying he's just some, thug. He's a professional arsonist. This is his job. He, and maybe
invite a professional
Sleepover.
and maybe
to
it wasn't.
sleep over at
Maybe
your
the
house.
altercation happened that night. So they go back to his house after they tried to burn the house down. It doesn't get burnt down. He's saying you need to go. So it could be that night.
Yeah.
Let me modify it. It could be that very night. And so the altercation that happened in the kitchen could have happened at midnight, just shortly after they tried to burn the house down. And they look down the block and see, hey, it's not burned, dude. Go finish your job. And he says, screw you. And who knows? Or maybe he's just like, I'll go get he goes to the bathroom or something like that. And that's the guy grabs his briefcase, grabs his cell phone, briefcase, wallet, and is about to take off when Jack, discovers what's happening, and they have that altercation in the kitchen. And then it's not until the next morning he wakes up and tries to get a ride into the pharmacy because, again, he's carless at his house and walletless and briefcaseless, and his cell phone is also gone too. He knows he's in trouble. His breakdown may have already been starting then because that it would add 1 billion times to his stress level.
I think his breakdown started right after he left his family in New York, and
Well, you think that, but I think it started later. I think it started after he was robbed by the arsonist. and again, that theory makes the timing actually fits with mine. You're surmising that. You have no idea. He shows we have no reason to think that breakdown didn't start until later. You have nothing to say that. We only know it started. I would say it didn't. It's not even clear it started.
It's only a couple days, so
I'm not even clear. Yeah, it's not even clear it started in the pharmacy when he's looking. He was pretty rational in the pharmacy. The weirdness there is why you're looking for a ride into Wilmington, not that he was acting strangely in the pharmacy the way he was acting strangely later at the parking garage. So I don't think the breakdown, it was starting possibly.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in full bloom, let's say.
Correct.
So that's my shot in the dark. That's my theory.
Yeah.
It's a good theory.
Yeah. I think it's damn solid, damn it. I'm going to put it on Reddit.
Oh, God.
It's more rational than 99% of what's there.
True.
What's your theory, Kira?
I don't really have one, but I think it probably was some sort of mental health issue, and that caused him to behave erratically and do strange things that don't make a whole lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And he happened upon somebody who did him harm.
See, the reason I don't like the just happened upon, any version of the just happened upon doesn't make sense for him to still have a watch and cash on his person.
That's true.
That's why what I'm saying makes perfect sense, because he was killed by that guy consciously or knowingly, are just beaten by that guy who had a connection to him already. He wants nothing to do with that, with Jack Wheeler. He is not going to take he's not in the stealing mode.
Although
when they have that altercation at his house, at the guy's house in Newark, he's not beating him to steal from him like a mugger would. He's beating him because they're having this altercation, and then when he accidentally dies, he panics and puts his body in the dumpster. The last thing on his mind is taking his watch.
But say, like I said, he happens upon a drug deal.
Yeah.
And, things go bad.
He looks like a cop. Get him.
It's late.
Narc.
Yeah. It's late. It's dark. He's wearing a big old hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Big old hoodie.
Maybe they can't see his wrist.
Maybe. But
it's dark, They beat him up, toss him in a dumpster.
If they can't see him, they don't think cop. They just think guy passing by in a hoodie.
They can't see him. Okay. They can't see his wrist.
All right.
To see his Rolex.
I think that's... and also doesn't explain why they put him in the dumpster.
Maybe you're overestimating these criminals. Maybe it's just a couple of teenagers.
Yeah. I think it's probably
possible.
way more mundane.
Shit.
It's probably not quite as... I mean...
He's a high-end arsonist.
Nothing... that's the other fatal flaw with that. Any kind of a mugging theory, happenstance theory, is it doesn't explain his behavior beforehand. My
that's
theory
the
explains,
mental break.
Yeah.
I know, but my theory explains that mental breakdown, and it also explains the behavior.
Gets him
if you
into
remove
the
us
situation.
explaining the mental break,
he's
then it doesn't
already
make sense.
yes, but it makes more sense if I provide a reason why he's not accepting of help and why he's being evasive. not just mental break. That's generic. It's possible,
Yeah.
but I provide a much more specific and real and reason for it as opposed to just
Are you really
generically.
arguing that you really believe that what
I
you're
absolutely
saying is,
believe what I'm saying. I
That's
believe it's
hilarious.
a very decent possibility. That's exactly what
Ladies and
happened.
gentlemen.
I know, but you're ascribing criminal motives and behaviors to a man that has nobody.
Yeah, you're
the man that was gonna
banking
hack into
100% on the fact that
website?
he was going to do something like that.
Yeah.
That's not even confirmed.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed.
So,
but I'm not saying it's
yeah,
for sure.
there
I'm
you
saying
go.
it's a
Bye.
valid possibility. And I would argue it fits the facts better than the happenstance murder because it explains his behavior prior to being wrong
He's
place, wrong
confirmed
time.
bipolar
Yeah, you don't
diagnosis.
have to. Not
not
all
confirmed
behaviors
that he
make
was
a lot of
committing
sense
arson.
I know.
for people going through.
Yes, I
Something like
still
that.
rather have an explanation than not have one. That's all.
Well, sure.
Just like yours better, just say that. bro.
but we're,
I do like mine
that's what I
better.
say. That's why it's just more mundane and boring. But
Yours is.
yes,
Absolutely.
and
Because
I'm sure
it's
the
more
truth
likely.
is also.
Yeah, no, I think the truth is usually the more
Exactly,
mundane
yeah.
answer. I just think mine is way
Yeah.
cooler.
And I wouldn't be ready to
More
say,
interesting.
this man who seemingly led a pretty exemplary life.
Mm-hmm,
He did good things. He was well educated. He, nobody ever said he was a shady guy or anything like that. So
No, that's true. But this is something he was incredibly passionate.
I
He
wouldn't
was-
be ready to say he's.
He was very, very passionate about it. He was ready to hack into computers to get closer to his completing his mission, which is to stop this house. When people are that passionate about something, they might do something they otherwise wouldn't have done.
I don't know. I think, sitting in your home office, clickety-clacking on your
Clickety-clacking.
laptop,
Sure,
trying to
sure.
get into a construction company's website is a far cry from hiring an arsonist.
Until you hired the arsonist, which
and
he
then
clearly
and
did,
then
100%.
traipsing about in the middle of the night to try to find that arsonist to get your stuff back. I mean, that's very.
That again, that explains. That's weird because your generic. Well, he's having a breakdown. It can explain everything, but explains everything without any specificity. Mine actually explains exactly why
of
he went
course.
into town, exactly why he's doing all. He's searching around and wandering around this town for the entire time. He has a reason, he has a purpose, he has a mission. That's a much better explainer than just he's having a breakdown. That's a pat answer, in my humble opinion. So
Okay, but-
mine's better. What's yours, Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron,
I
you
don't
got a
know.
shot in the dark.
I don't know. I think he just had a mental breakdown.
If he had a mental breakdown, do you think it's fugue state or like a bipolar, reaction?
Honestly, it could sound like he was just going through all this stress. All these things happened. He could have messed up his medication. In combination with the stress can cause a lot. People underestimate the effect it has on you, and he obviously was under a lot of it. And it doesn't sound like he was the kind of person who took care of himself besides maybe taking medication. And so,
Well, yeah, therapist.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
I think he did. He had a therapist.
yeah,
He took
so
medication.
in that line of work and all the stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
just
that's
seems
true. Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
The wife has said that he was religious about taking his meds.
Yeah.
He
And
never
he's-
missed them.
So the one time he does, fucks him
It's
up.
possible. It's possible. See, like again, going back to my brilliant theory, is that they both fit. It's he is having some form of a mental breakdown, absolutely, but it's brought on by a specific stressor.
Right.
And the reason he's refusing help and staying out there as long as he did in Wilmington is because he's trying to complete his mission.
Yeah.
That's my theory. And in terms of the walking into the bad part of town, again, he knew Wilmington very well.
Yeah.
It seems like he'd know that's the bad part of town. He's walking into the bad part of town because that's
Well, maybe the bad part of town he wandered into was in Newark. However, he got to Newark. He was killed in Newark, not Wilmington.
Yes, I know. But he
Yeah.
was last of Wilmington because he's still trying to find that guy.
Sure.
And that's either the last place he looked or he got a tip or whatever. That's why he's last seen. And the Newark thing. It also, by the way, explains how he got to Newark, too. The arsonist drove. Arsonist had a car, had a smooth ride. He had a Geo Metro blue. So,
What's his license plate?
arson. So, anyway, that's the Jack Wheeler,
Jack Wheeler.
mystery.
Oh, wait.
It is an amazing
We didn't
mystery.
ask Rachel what she thinks.
Oh, what do you think?
I don't know about specifically arson. It would be unthinkable for me not to assume that the events of the smoke bombs and his house being trashed and then his death aren't connected.
Good point.
Too much
Great
of a coincidence.
point, as a matter of fact.
So I don't think he was already having a break when he left. He left for shady reasons, whether it was the arson or something else, and probably got in over his head in something he wasn't prepared for because he was, practically a Boy Scout. He didn't really do anything wrong.
Yeah.
He was
playing a dangerous game and he wasn't ready for it.
He wasn't ready for
Cost him
it.
his life.
You guys, we can tell who the writers are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's actually a
all
good
of
point.
that tips him over the
Yeah.
edge and causes a bipolar episode.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it was a mess up with his medication because, like his wife said, he was pretty religious
Yeah.
with taking it.
Yeah.
Maybe he missed one because of the events that transpired before.
Yeah.
But,
and the trashed
you know.
house, they say, oh, he just had an episode and he trashed his house. Oh,
And maybe
come
it
on.
was a struggle.
It seems far more likely to me there was a struggle in that.
The amount
A
of
struggle
damage,
means a second
like,
person. So you
can
have
look
to
at
find a
the
reason for a second
pictures.
person to be there.
And that's not something that doesn't fit like a bipolar episode. That doesn't make any sense. Like someone who's manic might, I don't know, spend a lot of money, do risky things, be impulsive. They're not going to
Spill spice. Knock spices around because that's what happened in his kitchen. It was just-
no, they're
yeah,
not going to
exactly.
do that.
That's
That
my
doesn't
point.
make exactly.
That's
That
my
doesn't
point.
make any sense. That's weird.
They're not going to spill spice and
So that makes
and
me think it was an
trash the kitchen.
altercation.
It makes more sense that it was a fight.
And the altercation, multiplication means the second person was there, and you have to give me a reason for that second person to have been there. And the fact that he doesn't report, I was just a person just broke into my house and I had a fight with them, tells me he knows that person and has a reason not to tell the police that he knows the person and who the person was that was over there.
It was the police. No.
Is it still an open case?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it boggles my mind that there's never even been like an arrest. They
Well-
don't even really
well-
like discuss. But sometimes you hear these cases and they're pulling people in left and right to question them, and
Yeah.
they use any excuse they can think of. But really, it's just like from the beginning, they're like, we don't understand what he was doing. We don't understand
Yeah.
what was going on, and we don't know what happened to
Yeah.
him.
And my memory is the Newcastle police are the ones investigating. All they
Yeah.
know is that he was killed there. They have it's a small police force.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Well, the
they're not
FBI
solving
got
it.
involved.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
Okay.
the FBI took on the case too.
Yeah.
So it got national attention. He was
Yeah.
in the news for weeks.
So that's what I mean, though. If there's another person involved, it looks like that by the fact that they've never got any kind of a close suspect tells you that one is the only other person involved in this thing. One and only one, because the more you have, the more likely someone's going to spill on somebody else.
Yeah.
So where he meets this guy or approaches this guy to do an arson job, and who knows? Maybe the guy wasn't even a real arsonist. Yeah, man, he's talking a lot of shit. Maybe it was motherfucker Jones, and he's talking a lot of shit, and he tries to burn a house down
With smoke bombs.
smoke bombs.
Yeah.
Not knowing what the hell he's doing, and one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
an
like it.
argument against the arsonist.
No,
by
it
the
isn't.
way.
No, not at all. It's an argument against
No,
someone
it's
who's
still
not.
like-
Again, he personally is trying to involve no one else and find someone to burn down a neighbor's house. He doesn't know how to do it. Who knows who he meets in that, and who
Yeah.
knows how he brings it up with? Is a person who's isn't exactly.
It just could
a
have been an
pro.
amateur or
Yeah.
a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Or it's like his handyman or someone. Seriously,
Yeah.
he says, "You ever thought about burning a house down?" Yeah, I can do it. How much? Who knows?
Well, I hope someday it's solved just so we can prove you wrong.
Oh wow,
Oh.
that's not very supportive.
Well, I'm on Jack Wheeler's side.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to defend him
Good
and
point.
his
Good
She doesn't
his
want to
reputation.
disparage
You know
his
what? I
character.
hope so too. He sounds like a
Yeah.
stand-up guy.
Douche.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he got mad at those people for building a house to block his view of
Oh,
the
that was kind of
fucking
yeah.
weird, but
Yeah.
Bro, go to a walk down to the fucking sidewalk like everybody else.
Didn't it also have something to do with the fact that all the homes in the neighborhood were historic homes?
Yeah, and the way they were building
Yeah.
that home was not.
out of character.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was not in
So-
vein with the rest of the neighborhood
Yeah.
style at
Still a
all.
whiny.
Personal freedom. You're supposed to fight for this country, dumbass.
Very hot fuzz.
You're
so
not
you
wrong
get freedom to
about
do
that.
what you want
Yeah.
and what you like, but others don't
No.
because it
Eh.
messes with your vision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Too bad.
At least make it Georgian or colonial. That's all I
Yeah.
ask.
You know.
Okay. thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel.
That was a good one. I've been wanting to do that for a long time.
I know.
So, Carrie,
Dean.
hi.
Hi.
How you doing? Tell them stuff.
Okay.
Oh, like the name of the podcast is Weird World Podcast.
They probably know that already.
You can
Hopefully.
find us at weirdworldpodcast@gmail.com and on Instagram and Facebook and Patreon and Weird World Pod on Twitter.
Okay, I'll tweet when we do this. Upload it.
And if you hear lots of booms and stuff and dogs barking, it's because it's
4th of
4th
July.
of July.
But, okay.
That was hard to say for some reason.
No. So I didn't want to say
didn't want to
dates it. We might
date.
do this 4 months from now. So.
Okay, yeah, well, it's kind of too late for that. The explosion.
Let's see if they can hear. If they can hear the explosions and
Then-
we've left them in, then you're hearing this conversation now. And we recorded this on July 4th. Our doggy is scared on the landing because he doesn't like fireworks.
Yeah.
All right. See ya. Till next time.
Thanks for listening.
That was a long one.